Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to pull out the key nuggets of knowledge so you can get up to speed fast. Today, we're looking at something pretty significant in Indian governance, the recent election of India's 17th Vice President, C.P. Radhakrishnan. Our plan is to unpack the results, take a look at the person stepping into this role, and really get into the constitutional importance of the VP office itself. Okay, so let's start with the headlines. C.P. Radhakrishnan is the new VP, elected as the 17th Vice President, and he won by a pretty decent margin. Plus, voter turnout was incredibly high, 98.2%. That says something, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. Really high engagement. If we look at the numbers, Mr. Radhakrishnan, the NDA nominee, he secured 452 first preference votes. His opponent, Justice B. Sudarshan Reddy, got 300, so a clear win. There were also 15 invalid votes recorded and 14 abstentions. Just for context, the electoral college size for this specific election was 781 MPs.
Okay. Out of a possible 788, right, due to some vacancies?
Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
A few seats vacant at the time.
Right. So with those numbers setting the scene, let's maybe pivot to the person. C.P. Radhakrishnan, born May 4th, 1957 in Tamil Nadu. And he has a bachelor's in business administration, but his political life seems much deeper than that degree suggests.
Oh, definitely. I mean, his recent history alone is quite packed. Sworn in as governor of Maharashtra just this July 31st, 2024. And that was after nearly a year and a half as governor of Jharkhand. Plus, he had additional duties, acting governor roles for Telangana and lieutenant governor of Puducherry as well.
Wow, quite a lot of gubernatorial experience there.
Indeed. And if you look further back, his political roots go deep. He started as an RSS Swayamsevak. It's a major Hindu nationalist volunteer group, often seen as a formative place for political careers on that side of the spectrum. And by 1974, he was already on the state executive committee for the Bharatiya Janata Sangh.
The Janata Sangh. That's the precursor to the current ruling party, isn't it?
Precisely. So you can see a long, consistent political and ideological path there. It's not like he's new to this sphere at all.
That background certainly paints a picture. Okay, so stepping back from the individual, let's talk about the office itself, the Vice President of India. What's its constitutional standing?
Well, constitutionally speaking, it's a very significant role. It's the second highest office in the land, right after the president. It's all laid out quite clearly in Part V of the Constitution, which deals with the Union. Article 63 specifically states, and it's quite direct, there shall be a Vice President of India.
Right, clear as day. And the election process you mentioned earlier, it's different from the president's.
Very different, and that's a key point. The VP is elected by an electoral college, yes, but it only includes members of parliament, both houses Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. The crucial distinction here is that state legislatures have absolutely no role. Zero.
Okay, so unlike the president where states get a say, why is that significant, do you think?
Well, it arguably ties the VP's mandate more directly to the central legislature. It shapes the office's focus, perhaps making it less about broad federal representation and more about the functioning of Parliament itself. It's a fascinating structural choice. The method they use is proportional representation via the single transferable vote. Secret ballot, of course.
That voting method.
Yeah.
STV, right, where you rank candidates.
Exactly. Voters rank their choices. If no one gets a majority of first preferences, the candidate with the fewest votes is eliminated, and their votes are transferred based on the second preferences marked. It continues until someone reaches the required quota, the majority. It aims for a broader consensus. And what's quite interesting is that this system, STV, it's also used for the President and Rajya Sabha elections here, but India actually adopted it from Ireland.
From Ireland? Huh. They know that. Small world influences, eh? Okay. And quickly, the qualifications. Pretty standard stuff.
Relatively standard for high office, yes. Articles 66 and 67 cover it. You need to be a citizen of India, naturally, at least 35 years old. You also have to be qualified for election as a member of the Rajya Sabha, the Council of States. And importantly, you cannot hold any office of profit under the government. That ensures independence.
Right, the office of profit clause. Makes sense. So once elected, what are the main jobs, the powers and functions?
They really have two primary roles, which are quite distinct but interconnected. First, the VP is the ex-officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha.
Ex-officio meaning just by holding the VP job, they automatically get the chairman job.
Exactly. You don't get elected separately as chairman. The VP is the chairman. So they preside over the upper house sessions, maintain order, interpret rules, decide on points of order, and they have a casting vote, only used if there's a tie to break the deadlock.
Okay, that's a significant parliamentary role.
Okay.
What's the second main function?
The second is acting as President of India if the president's office becomes vacant. This could be due to death, resignation, removal, or even just absence or illness. The VP steps in and discharges all presidential functions. But this acting period is capped, maximum of 6 months. Within that time, a new president has to be elected.
6 months, okay. So it provides crucial continuity at the very top.
Precisely. This dual role, chairing one house of parliament and being next in line for the presidency, really underscores the strategic importance of the vice president's office. It's a linchpin in some ways.
And just briefly, how can a VP be removed? Is it impeachment like the president?
It's a bit different, not quite impeachment. Removal requires a resolution passed by the Rajya Sabha, but it needs an absolute majority there. That means more than 50% of the total membership of the House, not just those present and voting. And after the Rajya Sabha passes it with that special majority, the Lok Sabha just needs to agree to it with a simple majority.
Interesting. So the Rajya Sabha, the VP chairs, has the primary role in removal.
That's right. It reflects their close connection to that specific house.
Okay, so we've covered quite a bit. The election win for C.P. Radhakrishnan, his really extensive political and administrative background, and the core constitutional duties of the vice president.
Yeah, and thinking about all this, especially that election method involving only MPs, it really makes you consider, doesn't it? How does that specific mechanism shape the VP's role within India's whole federal system? It's not quite the same as the president's connection to the states.
That's a great point to ponder, and it leads perfectly into our final thought for you, the listener. How does this unique design, the distinct electoral college, the dual roles of parliamentary chair and presidential successor, how does all that work together? Does it effectively ensure stability and representation at India's highest levels? What might this intricate setup tell you about how democratic checks and balances are designed to function, perhaps even under stress? Something to think about.